All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my neighbors. We're going to get started. This is before you take the trade analysis. We're going to break down exactly what's going on with the market, and we already see what's going on with NQ. We are back into the order block, so we're going to go ahead and break this down in the charts. So let's get this thing started. All right. So let's start off with NQ. Right now, NQ is pretty much battling with trying to stay inside of its daily order block, and since it is holding above this bullish order block that's here, but it's inside of a daily bearish order block here, it looks like we're pretty much doing a little bit of a rounded dance here. So if we break below, I guess we could call it 15,900 or anything below that, we're probably going to continue to the downside, probably find some support somewhere there. That daily fair value gap is still sitting right here. And you can see we filled part of it, try to get it again on yesterday and could not, and doing a little bit of dance between not only a bearish order block, a daily bearish order block, and then we're establishing a bullish order block to try to get up deeper into the bearish order block. So this is going to be very interesting in the next couple of days. See which prevails, the bears or the bulls. All right. Let's go into oil. Oil, I want to see it get down to $70 and $70.03. I could say $70 flat. Let me change that up a little bit. Let's call this $70 even. Boom, boom, boom. All right, perfect. So yeah, so $70. But we are struggling with breaking this level here. If we come up to the daily, you'll see what is happening. This is pretty much a big old jambalaya rice of just every type of order that filled here. There was a point where it was bullish, there was a point where it was bearish, and if I go to the weekly, you'll see how much of a little bit of chaos that it is. On a weekly, we're talking about a bullish order block down here. So you got a couple people that's probably just wondering, can we fill the rest of this imbalance down to this level? That's $71. But I do want to see it test $70, because if it actually tests $70, we could actually figure out where it wants to go. If it's going to actually stay bullish, is it going to go ahead and bounce up to $95, or is it just going to go ahead and fall and start to come to some of the order block numbers down here at this weekly, somewhere around $63, $62. So that's what we're trying to figure out here. Let's go ahead. Next one, it is gold. Gold made some really, really good moves. Let me go ahead and come back to the 1 hour. Last night took a little bit of a piece this morning, and you can see right here we're kind of trying to fight with the cheat code buy signal on the 1 hour, and it is trying to push up here, but we got this caution candle indicator, or a boosty candle, letting us know that it wants to push down. So until we really get into this 2045 and hold, we're probably going to struggle trying to get through that upside. So I want to see if we're going to retest this one more time. Does it reject, or does it hold above 2045? ES is on top of a bullish order block on the 1 hour. We do have a downtrend that looks like it's a potential downtrend on this angle. Of course, we didn't make a lower low yet, but we broke. Let me go ahead and draw this out. This was the downtrend that we was looking at here. So when we kind of broke out of here and then we couldn't hold below here, that's why the Asian kind of acted a little bit donkey and pretty much pulled NQ up with it. So right now with this bullish order block, I want to see them retest this on ES, and then you can kind of see on NQ we're probably going to follow suit. But overall, if we come to the daily, we are on top of a daily order block here. So ES is saying one thing, NQ is saying another, and that's why we get a little bit of chop. All right, British pound. British pound is struggling to actually go completely bullish. So if British pound doesn't go completely bullish, then that means one thing: the dollar is not going to fall. So we need British pound to be bullish so we can get the market to turn bullish. So if they go up, we go up. But right now it's at the support of the buy signal right here at 1.258 with a Stoke pointing straight down on the bottom of a bearish order block. So on the daily, it doesn't look good for the British pound, and their news overnight was bearish for their pound. So we're probably going to get a nice size move to the downside. So just keep an eye on that. We're kind of in between two EMAs, which I'm a little concerned also, which is going to tell us that when we get to this level, we're probably going to get ourselves a little bit of a bounce. But either way, I think we're going to have to test this 200 EMA when it's all said and done. Next one is natural gas. Natural gas is trying to make its way to the upside. We're getting this rounded type of action here. Until we break this downward trend line, I don't think we're going to go ahead and retest this 2.848. But if we do break this out, then that means we got ourselves a potential uptrend that looks very similar to this. And this stochastic on the 4-hour should look good. But when we go over to the daily, it is coming from the bottom. Could they pin this down? Or is this just going to be a little bit of a retracement so that way they can pin this down? Either way, we got long wick here, and we got a little bit of the gap that got filled here. So I want to see if we can get at least to 2.808, somewhere around there. All right, next one is the Russells. Russell tends to let us know where the market is going to go, and right now it looks like the Russell is trying to do a little bit of retracement bounce, but it had a nice little bullish move here. So could it be, let me put a fib on it, could we get ourselves a 382 bounce, and that's the one that's going to push us, maybe even test the fair value gap down here and then continue us up? Or does this start to break down and then it start to fill this imbalance over here? That's the one that's probably going to be the big question mark. If we look at a wider scale, it kind of looks like we're doing this for a retracement. And right now we're at 618. So I'm going to be very curious on what the Russell does at the 618, because if the 618 doesn't really start to break down and then start going into the 786, we could get the Russell starting to reverse. And if we have a reversing Russell, that usually means that the market is starting to go down, or will go down, because it usually starts at the Russell first, the small caps, and then continues. All right, the last one is the dollar. The dollar has been moving up. I kind of told y'all about this level. I was looking for it roughly around that 102. I really wanted to retest all the way down to 100, but it looks like it's stopping about right here at 102.48, and that's because what was previous support, previous resistance and support. So you could see that we put in this morning star type of action, and right now with a fib, actually I'm gonna do it from this leg, we're almost to the 382. So if we can get to the 382, roughly around the 200 EMA, we're probably going to get a rejection, retest, and if it starts to break down, we should get some more upside in the market. All right, so that is what is going on in the market. And let me just do a recap. What time is it? Okay, it's 7:41. Let me go ahead and do a recap. Not with that chart. All right. Recap of some of the tickers that I talked about last week. So a couple of tickers I was talking about was CCJ Chemical. So this thing has been pushing up. Right now I can readjust this trend line to the upside. I mean, I did it on the weekly. Oh, it's a ray. That's why. So I can adjust this trend line down here because it looks like it's finding a little bit of support right here. So I'm looking for CCJ to still retest 47.85, because if it could actually make its way to that 47.85, we probably could start to reject at that level and then come back down. But right now pre-market is down, so I think it's because of ex-dividends was what's the driving factor behind here. So now people are starting to reestablish their position. I don't want to see it break this trend line and then continue down, so I'm looking for it to kind of bounce from here. If not, then the second bounce will be here, and we'll probably break the buy signal here. All right, other one is Costco. All right, Costco did break out of 600, which is a good sign. So now we got ourselves a nice solid uptrend that is happening here, from here to here. So at this point, earnings is December 14th. So I think people are going to start taking some of their profits on Costco along the way. So just look out for Costco at these highs, because if we go to the weekly, look at where we are. You got yourself a nice little order block right here. So if you took that trade from when we were talking about it last week, you should be seeing that we're inside of an order block. Let me go ahead and change that up. And this is the battle that we have to grade. If we can break above 609.17, we should be able to get to the all-time high around 612. And then the last one is PVH. Going into the retail season, PVH is the company that is behind Tommy Hilfiger, and they had solid earnings, really good. Nice little push up here. Right now, it's starting to show a little bit of exhaustion here, but I think it's because of some of the ex-dividend date. So we could get a nice push to the upside if it breaks these levels. All right, so that is pretty much it. And unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know what's going on with TradingView. It's still not working where I can link it to TradingView. That way I could get some of the comments from my supporters on TradingView. But if you have any questions, you could go ahead and put a comment inside the link down below. Also, if you don't have a trading community, come over to Cheat Code. We do a lot of this live trading. Actually, I'm looking at a couple of messages. They're looking at oil, and it looks like potential downward channel. Okay, I see you. Right, so I would say come over to our live trading floor, and also click the link, get my Twitter, my Instagram, all of it is down below. Also, by all means, check out shop.cheatcode.com. I got a couple of workshops that's coming out, especially my scalping workshop. That's going to be fun, and I have my charting basics and fundamentals. That's going to be really good too. So go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time. You have a great day.